Hello NYWC, I am the administrator of the NYWC message board, Robert Lottie. Draw the Line 2017 can be summed up in the following words. Best draw the line ever. The night began with a suicidal six-way match, which wound up a seven-way match, which saw Talon defeat Spider, Apollyon, Tyler Murphy, Alvin Alvarez, Tinder Tom, and Koto. He was formerly known as the General and the Beer Belly Bandits. Next up was a return bout from House of Madness as Angelo Andrews defeated the Greek god Papa Don. After the match, Papa Don took a hold of Angelo and was ramming his shoulder into the turnbuckles, ramming him into the ring post, and then he put in some kind of armbar submission on him, and until a bunch of referees managed to get Papa Don to stop the carnage. Next up in singles matchup, Flawless Blake Morris defeated Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. Next, we're scheduled for tag team action with Milk Chocolate taking on The Rep. Randy Summers calls to the crowd saying Milk Chocolate is back. Brandon Watts takes the microphone and says Milk Chocolate is not back, and proceeded to run down Summers. He ran down the crowd, and Brandon said that ever since, Watts returned from injury, that Summers has done nothing, and Watts walked out of the match. And I think I noticed Shane came out and tried to see what's going on, why he's doing this, and then eventually Summers seemed very disheartened by the situation. He left the ring himself, but then all of a sudden the Punk Relics, Jaden Valo and Ugo, come out, and they have a match with The Rep, and we ended up a case of deja vu as The Rep defeated the Punk Relics just as they did at House of Madness last month. Next up, we were set to see Bull James take on King Mega for the Heavyweight Championship. Before King Mega came out, there was a video up on the screen of Alex Reynolds with the championship belt, and he said in the video that if Bull gets by King Mega, he would have to pry it from Alex's dead hands. So the match between Bull and King Mega was on, and prior to the match, Flawless Blake Morris came through the crowd, and he attacked Bull prior to the bell, and despite all that, Bull managed to put King Mega down for a 3 count, officially retaining the championship, only for Bull to be beaten down by Morris and the King. It was at that point they had gone to intermission. They returned from intermission with a video package that back in February regarding Irish, who was, of course, last seen with J-Red and GIT, the Git, on shows, and many of the students of the Academy were making comments about Irish when he was hit by a car earlier this year. And then earlier this month, he had finally returned, started training again. And J-Red and Git were already in the ring, and Irish comes out. And before Irish could say anything, Git attacks J-Red. And then all of a sudden, Git attacks Irish. At that point, of course, John Kurz, Shane, Forge, they were all out there, welcoming Irish back. And all of a sudden, they all made Git leave, and I think they were even telling Git to go out the back door, and I forgot what else he had said. Yeah. Git eventually did leave, and J-Red and Irish both had to be helped from the ring. Okay, then up next we saw the Big O take on the Man Bun Jesus, Johnny Radke, for the Fusion Championship. O had Radke up for a power slam, and Radke's legs knocked the referee down. And all of a sudden, fellow members of the Academy, Ash Flanagan, Tinder Tom, I forgot who the third guy who came out with Radke for this match was. Two guys from came through the crowd. I don't know who they were. Never saw them before. And the Punk Relics even had come out in this scenario. And as a result, I believe Ash Flanagan had an Anarchy flag, if that is an Anarchy flag, and he hits O with it, and Radke eventually gets on top of O, and Johnny Radke won the Fusion Championship. Next up, we had tag team action as the Devil's Outlaw, Stockade, and G. Raver took on the Extricateds, Bam Sullivan, and Jeff Cannonball. During this matchup, Mouse comes out with the barbed wire boogie board that was used in the steel cage match at House of Madness last month, and he hits G. Raver with it, enabling Sullivan and Cannonball to get the victory. I think Stockade eventually brought a cinder block in the ring to chase everybody out of there. Up next comes Rex Lawless, who had been out of action for months after getting knee surgery, and he announced that he will be returning to action in NYWC on Saturday night, December 23rd, as NYWC presents Toward the Circus, and Rex will be going one-on-one with the bad boy, Joey Janela. Next up, it was time for the Starlet Championship match, as we saw Willow Nightingale defeat Tara Calloway to retain her championship. Next up was scheduled to be Born and Bred challenging the Benson Bros for the Tag Team Championship. Anthony Lacerra comes out by himself, and then it was announced that Jesse Vane was unable to make the show, and they introduced Lacerra's partner, the Man of Steel, Mike Verna, to take on the Benson Bros. During the match, Talon comes out and distracts Verna. Talon eventually clotheslines Verna on the top rope, which led up to the Benson Bros getting the victory and retaining their tag team championship. Out come the Beer Belly Bandits, JT Kaysen and Bo Pritchard, talking about that, they've been undefeated since they came together. They've been doing the karaoke Jammy Jam in September. They did the Halloween costume contest last month. And they said, they would like a shot at the tag team championship. And the Bensons accepted, and the Bandit says, remember, we are bandits after all. Attacked the Bensons from behind. The match got underway. The Bensons eventually end up winning again, defeating the Beer Belly Bandits to retain the tag team championship. And then it was time for the main event as Aiden Bale took on Matt Tremont in a 10,000 thumbtack match. There was a garbage can brought out, and on the garbage can it said 10,000 thumbtacks. I thought maybe they were going to have the thumbtacks poured all over the ring for this one. This was a very brutal match. Tremont bled pretty badly. I know Tremont pulled out a plastic baseball bat with thumbtacks on it. I noticed Aiden had some of the tacks stuck on the top of his head. Eventually, during this matchup, the rest of the Extricated, Jeff Cannonball, Bam Sullivan, Mouse, and Devil Doll come out, which led up to Stockade, G. Raver, and Tara Calloway. They come out, and in the process of all that chaos, Devin Moore came through the crowd, and he attacks Aiden Bale, enabling Matt Tremont to pick up the win. And Stockade took the microphone and said that the sides are now even. And Tremont, I think, took the microphone saying the war has started. And by the way, this match between Tremont and Bale was the first in a best-of-3 series of 3 Psycho Circus match Advantage series. There will be at least one more match to determine who's going to have the advantage going into the Psycho Circus matchup, which will be in February. No date's been announced yet, folks. All right, personal notes. Welcome back, Jessica and Leanne. Welcome back, James McGrady and Griffin Brown. Griffin, I hadn't seen that NYWC in quite some time. The only thing missing was David Poppy. Great seeing John Kurz, Shane, Forge, Greg and Sarah Gruber. Great seeing, what else did I remember seeing there? Drat. Well, we had a pretty big crowd for this event, much like we did for House of Madness last month. We do have some memorable quotes here. "That's disgusting!" Papa Don, after having Angelo's protective cup in his face. "You got cheap polo!" This one kid at Alex Reynolds during his video, where he said he had the belt with him. I went to the after party at BK Grasso's, and they had karaoke there, and I guess because it's Thanksgiving weekend, that's probably why the crowd there weren't too many people there like there was back in September. I actually got up to saying Steve Winwood's Higher Love, as well as Foreigner's Jukebox Hero. Great seeing Bob Grasso. As I mentioned to Shane before I did leave, I hope the NYWC roster is paying attention to this. I am bringing back the No Punches Pulled interview series. Haven't done any of these interviews in quite some time, and hopefully many of you hardworking men and women want to partake in this. Also, I still have, I didn't get a good look at that, still have flyers that I really haven't had the heart to pass out at shows to help push the message board. Granted, message boards are pretty much passé, and nobody cares about them. Almost everyone's on social media. So hopefully, the message board will get burning again with these interviews. I haven't asked anybody yet. If anybody wants to step up, all you gotta do is contact me through Facebook, or if you have my email address. I think most of you don't have it. You can just contact me there too. Now, NYWC presents its last hurrah of 2017 with Tour de Circus on Saturday night, December 23rd. As mentioned earlier, already announced, Rex Lawless goes one-on-one with bad boy Joey Janela. I would like to see at the next show the Benson Bros, hopefully against Born and Bred for the Tag Team Championship. I'd like to see Angelo Andrews against Papa Don one more time. Man of Steel Mike Verner one-on-one with Talon. I'd like to see Tara Calloway one-on-one with Devil Doll. I'd like to see King Mega and Flawless Blake Morris against Bull James and a partner. I don't know who Bull would get to help him. I'd like to see the Beer Belly Bandits take on the Rep. I'd like to see J Red go one-on-one with Git. And don't know what else I would like to see. Wow, we had 11 matches for this show. This may be a record for draw the line wise. Ugh. Now, I don't know. I mean, need to find, maybe start hitching a ride to these after parties, because the damn dispatcher from Lindy's Taxi charged $22 from the show. I mean, I remember back in September when Jessica and Leanne went there with me, it must have been a different dispatcher because they only charged $14 from the show to BK Grasso's. You know, oh, I forget, Jim Lundis, nice seeing you there. Oh, nice seeing Vincent, son of Vinny the Guido. Dang it. I don't know where they could go with the Big O at this point. I mean, he's no longer a Fusion champion. Damn, I'm glad he's Apollyon again. Let me see other matches I could think of for this show. I mean, you know, this was, as I said earlier, the best Draw the Line ever. Hold that thought. As I mentioned earlier, I'm bringing back the No Punches Pulled interview series. Shane, I don't do the interviews with them in person. I just send them the questions and they eventually respond with their answers. That's how I do it. I'm not gonna like try to come to the shows earlier and conduct the interviews. You know, I'm not gonna get there. I don't want to get there too early, especially with where the weather is these days. It was great seeing Aisling. I forgot to mention her. So, can't wait for Tour de Circus Saturday night, December 23rd. And that particular show is near and dear to me because next month will mark 6 years since I first sat with my favorite NYWC Jessica. Hopefully she and her sister can make the next show. And folks, NYWC rules.